Let's try and, oh, come on. All right. Is it working? Hopefully so. It took a lot longer to go live than it normally does. So, hello, welcome. Happy 20th, because it is the 20th. Uh, woo! Um, and y'all, I'm just very, very happy to have AC. So after, well, actually probably during the stream on Monday, I was like, it's kind of warm. My face is red. Like, anyway, it turns out our AC had stopped cooling. Like it was blowing constantly, but our AC had stopped working. So we hosed off the unit, thinking that if there was some debris stuck, maybe that would dislodge it and make it work again. Did not. So we called the um, like company, the AC repair company, um, one of the ones that we have used before for things, um, for AC related things, and said that they could come out this today between 8 and noon. um, Luckily, they were able to arrive at like 9:20, so we did not have to wait till noon. Thank goodness. Technician found the problem, fixed it real quick. Well, relatively quickly. It didn't take him long to find it at all. And luckily, he had the part in the van that he needed. He had several options, in fact, in terms of like quality for the part. So, 1 year versus like 5 year type warranty type of compressor thingies. I don't really know. It's just things, words being thrown around don't mean much to me, but he fixed it. It started cooling very quickly. So, but I mean, our house is still sort of like very slowly lowering the temperature because over the last couple of nights, it's been 80 degrees in the house, Fahrenheit, 80 Fahrenheit. And that's not like good sleeping weather. It's really not. So thankfully, we now have good AC. The temperature of the house is lowering. I no longer have to have my fan on high speed. Like we're gonna take off and it's it's a propeller. Don't have to do that anymore. Yay. What else? I finished my read through and critique notes for the first pass of Bestie's manuscript for the memoir. I'm trying to think of what else I have done since I saw you last besides sweat. I can't remember. I think I already put it in the winter storage stuff, but I did finish crocheting a hat. But that's again, like I've already put it away in the winter storage bin. I'm gonna have to find something else to either knit or crochet. I keep thinking about like learning how to knit again, so that's been on my brain. But I also want to paint. Still haven't painted anything. That needs to happen. Other than that, writing. My goal for today, I think, is going to be to get. I got to 1500 relatively okay Monday, and then I think I was just shy of 1500 on Monday's stream. But Tuesday I got like in the same like chunk of time. I got a decent amount done as well. So I think maybe today I can bump my goal up to like maybe 1600, something somewhere in there. So yeah. Monique says, "Hey everyone, hello, welcome." You are outlining the Auntie of Honor right now. You came up with a backstory for the antagonist and creating some initial conflict. Nice. Excellent. Good, good. Yeah, the initial conflict and the overall antagonist is always good to know about. Always, always. Okay, I feel like for whatever reason, these big old claw clips um, sort of leaves something to be desired in terms of like the way they shape your head uh, with hair. Like it never really looks right, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's up. It's off of my neck, and and it's out of my face. Which those are very important things. So, okay. So again, my goal is probably to do about 1,600 today. As my like, I would be very satisfied if I got that. That being said, I still have not updated my reading journal. We're not. We're still putting that off. We're not doing that. Uh, so, the initial conflict is that Rita did not volunteer to be the maid of honor. I thought that was the bride's choice. I didn't think there was a volunteer thingy about that. It. I don't like every wedding that I have ever sort of like been adjacent to / been a part of. The bride would request the person that they wanted, like separately before the other bridesmaids. It was like usually it would be the first person who would be a bridesmaid, but they would be like, "Hey, would you be my maid of honor?" But I always thought that was a conversation between that the bride would ask someone. Is that not? Is that not? I don't know. Again, could be your character dynamics. So anyway, the initial conflict is that Rita did not volunteer to be maid of honor. Her Aunt Marigold insisted on it in order to make sure that family can have some say at the wedding, in contrast to the wedding planner whom none of them know. Colette, hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. What are you working on today? Yes, it's typical, but again, family. Yes, I don't know. Maybe it's just my family dynamics. But like even the slightly more dysfunctional side, they're both pretty dysfunctional. Um, but as far as I know, like the brides chose their maid of honor. There was no. So I don't know this. Okay, so let me ask you this: who is the bride, and how are they related to Rita? I think maybe that will help me understand the dynamic a little bit more. Um, so how is the bride connected to Rita? And then why? Yeah. Bride is Felicity. She's technically Rita's cousin, but much younger. But they did grow up together. Okay. So was the bride maybe considering Rita for like a honorary matron rather than maid of honor? Yeah. You may need to sort of like elaborate this on your plan and sort of figure out the whys and where to's for this. I keep okay, y'all. I have this peppermint on my desk and I'm like, I want to eat it, but I know that talking while having something in my mouth is redonkulous, so I won't do that. It's probably what Felicity would pick for Rita, being more of a matron than a maid of honor. Okay, and so would that not be enough to like have input in the wedding, or is Marigold insisting on the title of maid of honor, and just like the function is still going to be the same? I don't know. Okay. So speaking of like aunties and uncles and things, the poll for today is that your main character receives an unexpected letter. And who is the sender? Is it some unknown uncle or aunt? Is it someone the main character thought was dead? Is it a dean or professor of a magical academy? Is it a religious cult or just for funsies? Is it about your car's extended vehicle warranty? uh, one of those things. So which of those sort of vibes fits your work in progress a little bit more? Um, you can lean into the matron of honor idea. Okay, the key point is that Marigold wants Rita to act as sort of a representative of the family. Okay. If Rita was going to, if Rita was going to get a mysterious letter, it would be from her father, whom she never met. So technically, the aunt or uncle. Okay. So when you're saying she's acting as a representative of the family, is this to weigh in on the bride's choices or to weigh in on the wedding planner's choices? Because sometimes those feel like different things, different goals. But yeah. The aunties want to make sure that Felicity doesn't spend too much. Okay, so being the budget conscious person, right? Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Let's do the thingies. We need cats for today. Oh my gosh, there's the second one for today is super cute. Super cute. Okay, so for Tuesday, we had accentuate the positive. Even though the paw is not in focus, the cat's face is what's in focus, but very cute. Accentuate the positive. And then we have the little fluff void. When stumped with a problem, let go. Trust the universe to present the answer. And in this case, the answer is a very fluffy void, kitty. Just look at that fluff. Tradition is also a factor because all the aunties plan their own weddings and essentially work together. Right? Okay, we're going to see if we can get this to... It's trying. Do I need to sit back here? Do I need to get a bigger swath of white? So, yeah. Oh, there we go. All right. I don't know. I still don't know how the camera works and why it doesn't. None of them had ever hired a wedding planner. So it's a new experience for them. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So let's pull the card. We need to do the card. I'm sorry. My brain is just not taking... Because last night was really, really, felt very, very hot. I woke up, finally got to sleep about 1 a.m. Then woke up just absolutely sweating at 3 a.m. Had to, go and turn all the fans in the house on 3 o'clock in the morning. And, yeah, open, all the doorways. Had to sort of, what do they call it? Burp the house, where you open windows to get some fresh air in. And yeah, it all only slightly worked. So my brain does not feel very brainy at the moment. Okay, we're doing number 67, but it's inverted. And it is the wolf spirit. Turn knowledge into wisdom is the main message. Ooh, Stacy. Your brother's at your place. Welcome back from the hospital to brother. He just got out of the shower, so he had to redress his wounds. Still trying to get him to eat some food. Chicken noodle soup. Whatever you guys used to eat when y'all were kids growing up and you didn't feel good, like whatever that is, that comfort food. But also, yeah, if he has dietary restrictions at the moment, got to be aware of that too. Okay, so the other main theme is going to be generational differences because Marigold has never been to a gay or LGBTQ wedding, let alone planned one for her daughter. Gotcha. So she's thinking all the traditional things, and her daughter is very much not going to be traditional, which makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So 67, turn knowledge into wisdom. But again, this is inverted. You did get him some applesauce. Last night, he ate some Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes. He ate about half of it. Good, good. He's eating. Yay. Excellent. Good, good. Potatoes always taste good. But yeah, I'm glad that he's able to eat, which is good. Because food will fuel the recovery. All right, so 67. What is unknown is still yet to be discovered. When the wolf appears, you are being told not to pretend you know something when you don't. You will not impress anyone with a little bit of knowledge. In fact, you rob yourself of a true experience and education if you tell yourself that you are done learning or that you don't have to know something. Be open, be humble, be teachable, and the world will open itself up to you. The world will open up itself up for you like magic. Now is a time to look into the world with reverence and awe and an insatiable curiosity. You will never grow old if you are willing to keep learning. The wolf is waiting to be your mystical, loving guide. So there you go. I guess that's very appropriate for me because I was kind of dismissive of the AC stuff. I'm like, I'm never gonna need it. Shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said it. Okay, so the wolf seems to vibe with your magician as well. Yeah, because the magician is all about pure potential in every suite. So yeah, all good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my document. Hopefully you will as well, and I will also pull up a timer. Let's start with the rubber duckies, shall we? If I can get this to do. Here we go. Okay. Open the document. Okay, document is now opened. Excellent. I think we are ready. So, 1, save your document. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back. That posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, how did we do? Nice. I had 555 exactly. Fantastic. Okay, I feel like I did okay. But I also feel like my attention span may not last. Okay, we're gonna try. We are gonna try and last as long as we can. But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a struggle. How'd you do? Hopefully you didn't struggle as much as me. You have 4 chapters outlined. Nice. But you need to find some lunch. Excellent. I had like a steakum type thing, like really thin sliced beef on sourdough bread, plus some pretzels and grapes. That was what I had for lunch. The grapes were nice because I prefer green grapes over red, and I like that, like the tart crunch as you bite into like a nice fully taut grape. It was yummy. I think grapes were the best part. So there's going to be an engagement party followed by a visit to the venue, and then 2 different bridal salon shopping scenes. Ooh. Are you going to have a floral visit to a florist later? And then, of course, a wedding cake tasting / catering tasting. Sometimes if you're having the meal catered, you can like pick and choose from specific menus type of thing. Felicity's going to have 2 different dresses, one for the ceremony, one for reception. Gotcha. You love green grapes too. Yeah. Yeah. So red grapes are good, but they are oftentimes too sweet for my preference. And they also get mushy faster, in my opinion. In my opinion. I do not know if it is a scientific fact. I wonder if it's something to do with the sugar content is higher, therefore it breaks down faster. I don't know. Again, not entirely sure of the science of that. But green grapes are my preferred. But they were very tasty. But I have come to the realization that I can really only have like one fruit in the house at a time one fresh fruit in the house at a time that I'm working on, with the exception of maybe bananas and strawberries together. Because otherwise, like I hyper focus on a fruit, and like that's all I want to eat fruit wise until it's done, or until it doesn't taste good anymore. Unfortunately, sometimes I hyper focus on fruit that is not in season where we live, so that becomes a problem. Although I did see the midnight plums at the store the other day. I was like, ooh, but they were not ripe by any means. They were very much hard. And so I'm hoping that maybe soon those will be in season, because they were delicious last year. Totally yes, but the whole florist thing depends on how close it'll be to the day of the wedding, because you know from personal experience that you want flowers to be fresh. Yes, but you can go and you can pick out your bouquet design, your vase design, centerpiece designs ahead of time. I did that with my grandparents', I want to say 50th anniversary. We went to a florist and we ordered a certain amount of specific types of flowers in specific colors. So yeah. So you can do that ahead of time and have them ordered to be delivered on a specific date. That way the florist has enough time to get them in if they don't have them, like, present. So, again, but then again, that does kind of depend on, like, the florist and their connections, and are they growing it themselves, or are they buying wholesale from farmers type of thing. So, plastic flowers are cheaper, but um, yeah, I prefer real flowers for sure. So, nice thing with plastic is that you can keep them for later. You still have your wedding bouquet. This is true. Yeah, they do last a lot longer for sure. Um, yeah, yeah. I wonder. I think maybe have I seen um crocheted wedding bouquets? Maybe. There's also I've seen really okay, so it's been a while since I've seen them on my For You page, social media wise. But there's a lady who makes wedding bouquets surrounding large points of crystal and like super like drapey moss, or like they're very witchy vibes, I should say. Um, but they're crazy cool looking. I want to see if I can Instagram. Nope, did not spell that right. Okay. Maybe Ronnie Flower. Don't. Okay, yes. Okay, so I knew it was somebody, but I haven't seen them in a while, so I don't know why. Anyway, so like this one over here on the left, you can see that the base is the the crystal point or crystal tower, and then the flowers are surrounding it, and then she's got some of the moss coming off the side. The got lace, and I'm not sure what else on this one. Um, you've got smaller points sticking up there. Bones instead of crystals, doing sage bundles instead, depending on your practice and all that kind of stuff. So they're gorgeous and they're very cool. I forget why we were talking. Oh, the floral. I was like, why am I talking about this again? The floral stuff. That's why. Um, just because they're cool. I don't know. Like, but those are very like autumnal vibe colors. So anyway, random thoughts to keep us going, right? Okay, let's do another sprint. Second sprint is the self promo sprint, so don't forget to do that. And also don't forget to vote. I think, do we have a tie at the moment? We do not. Ooh, we have a current leader. We shall see if it goes back to being tied or not. Are we sharing? No, we're not. Now we're going to share. Okay, let's do this. So 1, save your document. 2, make sure you take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is, if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I am trying to um, figure out which theme to go with for next month because now my brain is just like kaput, absolute kaput. So what I've done is I have one of these cutoff sheets from the journal, the white page, uh, dot grid, whatever, same type of paper. And I've just paper clipped a couple of the potential stickers in order to make like a visual dashboard, essentially. So I have woodland critters. So it'd be very much like browns and greens and grays. So like very natural, nature-esque. And then, so that's option one. So woodland critters. And then I have this sort of blue and gold stained glass. And then I have some of the moons and stars that are essentially the same approximate, like blue and gold combo. So the windows, is it ever going to focus? There we go. The windows range from mostly yellow to mostly blue. And so I've pulled sort of like a sampling of them. And then I have different sort of like shapes of moons that are these color combos. So blue and gold, celestial stained glass, or woodland critters. If you have a preference, let me know because I'm still like I'm struggling because this one with the stained glass, instead of doing just like boxes for my days, I could try to emulate the long, tall, skinny windows and have like a point or a round at the top. I'm not great at those because I'm not good at matching the curves, but I could try that. Whereas with the woodland critters, there's a lot more of those stickers that I could like place all around and like create a little scene type of thing. So if you have a preference, one way or the other, let me know. But those are my dashboards. Because I'm like, question, who knows? So yeah. The other option is just like go giant stars. And I'm not as big of a fan of that, even though I have a ton of those big stars. So that's the dilemma of themes for next month. So let me know what you think. Okay, well, there's a little bit more conversation about the wedding/bridesmaids dresses. Should you go for the bridesmaids having matching dresses or go for color coordinated cocktail dresses? And so I had a couple of questions like, what would your brides want? Like, what would be the vision that they have for it? And I have typically leaned more towards like just a color palette or color combo. Because I've seen it done both ways. And I feel like the bridesmaids are always way, way more comfortable if they're allowed to have a little bit more input in what fits them and what what style they want to wear. But also, would any of the bridesmaids be planning to come in traditional Filipino garb, whether masculine or feminine, or some sort of combo of both? I don't know if you can do that with Filipino traditional garb. I think you can, but I'm not 100% sure. So like, what would be the vibe that your characters would want? Feel like the aunties are going to go for Filipino outfits traditionally, but Felicity would want the bridesmaids to wear dresses they can rewear whenever. Gotcha. Yeah. It's a way of bucking tradition. In which case, then I think it would be like the color coordinated cocktail dresses. But again, if this is going to be an LGBTQ wedding, there may be some people who aren't comfortable in dresses per se. So you may want to open that up to also suits. You're imagining Brida's outfit would be some sort of modern Filipino outfit. Nice. Possibly bolero top over her dress. Yeah, I like it. Diane sneaks into the room quietly. But announcing it kind of defeats the purpose. Anyway, Monique says, hi, Diane. The color scheme for the dresses is going to be the lesbian pride flag. Oh, I kind of like that. Clog Vlog, hello, welcome. Jumping in late to do some edits. Excellent. Becca says, hello, just popping in from your week of moving. Yes. Wait, they came on Monday, right? So you're only like partway through the week, right? Do I have my timelines right? Yeah, I think so. This place looks like a hurricane hit it. Oh no. But today was when the rented totes get picked up. Is that right? Do I have that right? Did you get all of the rented totes unpacked before they came? Monique says, nice to see y'all. Yes. And also self-promo. Please buy Monique's Miss Ocampo writes. Buy the novel on Amazon or on Itch. You haven't had any sales this month. Oh, no. Here's the Amazon link, and here's the Itch link. Excellent. Thank you. Diane says, hello, and heart. You love the stained glass and moons. Yes. Oh, and they're hollow, too. I don't know if I can. I wonder if I can get it to shine right. Okay, let me do the... Oh, God. I'm going to blind myself to it. There we go. Okay, you can see... Yes, you can see there a little bit better the hollow flash in them. Can we get that? Maybe if I hold it a different way, that might help. Somewhat. Anyway, yes. The critters are not holographic. So, Diane votes for the blues and golds. Monique also votes for the stained glass. Okay. Seems like we appreciate the color choice. So, you're going to be doing your planning tomorrow. You hired a cleaning person for the first time in my life, and tomorrow is her first day. Good activity for you to do. Yes. And maybe she will give you some insight as well, and sort of like put some things on your calendar type of thing. You're awful at event planning. I would tell everyone to show up in jeans and t-shirts. Like a backyard barbecue is nice. I mean, the only thing is you can't always predict the weather, so you have to make sure you have some like tent tops and make sure that you have parking room where the cars are not going to get stuck in the mud should it rain torrentially. Ask me how I know this. Yeah. Don't worry, Lexi will be wearing a tux. Okay. Yes. Diane wants to know if the movers got everything to the new place in one piece. The majority of the move was on Monday, but yes, and you turned in the totes today. Yay, you were up super late emptying them last night, hence the hurricane. Gotcha. But that is massive. Yes. Diane said such a huge job, but you did it. Yay. Exactly. Yes, and the movers overcharged, just like you said. My God, it costs way too much. Yeah, it always seems to. It always seems to somehow cost way more than, one, the initial estimate, and two, feels like what we budgeted before. So, Funky is here. Howdy. Hello. Welcome. And Diane says to Becca, mine told us what they would charge per hour, but man, our budget took a hit, major hit. When we moved, it was 20 degrees and icy. So glad you didn't have family and friends do it. Yeah, because that definitely adds to the danger of it. Um, backyard barbecue, yeah. Yeah, favorite art reception you ever participated in had beer on ice and washed-ups. I mean, exactly, it's so much more of a relaxed, um, like, you can actually have a good time. Like, I want kebabs, like shish kebabs, skewers of very tasty things. It's coming. Summer is coming. Summer is just over a month away, and I feel like once it's officially summer, then I can justify doing shish kebabs. Becca says to Diane, yeah, mine was by hour as well. They were super sweet and thoughtful, though. Um, bringing in my Narnia lamp first to bless the place. Nice. So you were okay with it. And yeah, 20 degrees, very scary. Yeah. Yeah. Because then you're dealing with moving heavy things with unsure footing. And if you're not used to that, you can definitely hurt yourself. So, okay. Let's do third sprint. Don't forget to vote. We have a tie. Nope, we don't have a tie anymore. Okay, never mind now. But if you haven't voted yet, go ahead and vote. So I thought we still had a tie based on the number that was showing on my end. Okay, we had the rubber duckies. We had the flowers. Let's do yeah, let's do that. Yeah, this is a not very many uses timer. And I think I forgot to upload the music with this one, so I think it's actually silent. Just like the little oh, I hear a little bit of music. Okay. Hopefully that won't be too distracting. So it does have music in it, just very quietly. Okay. Let's do this. 1, save your document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4 is make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I am making progress. I have sketched in the calendar boxes. I'm not 100% sure I love them because they are not perfect. But we are going to have to make do with that. So, um, that's where we are in terms of that. I've also am just quickly putting down the stickers for this first double page spread calendar, and then the right side will be my appointments, tasks for the month, and then like notes for July. Trying to decide if I want those centered or not. I think not. I think I want them in a line there. Okay, so you can see that I have penciled and then pinned, fine linered the arches. They're not perfect. Again, I'm hand drawing them. So I have the little sticker in the corner there, and then moons at the top, and then another sticker up here in the corner. Down here is probably too small for any of the stickers I have. So I don't know if I have any like just stars and things that I might be able to sort of like chop off of some of these and stick them there. We shall see. I'm not 100% committed to that yet. So yeah. So that's where we are in terms of we have made a decision and we are going with it. And yeah. When you put a date and time for your art show reception on Facebook, you plan on emphasizing come as you are, just mode, that's fine. Working on a garden, who cares? From the pool, just have the important bits covered. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. Andy says hello. Hello. Welcome. Diane says to Becca, that was very nice of them to bring the Narnia lamp in first. Bless it. Yes. I like that. Daughter and grandson are on the phone. Nice. Which means maybe didn't get as much done, but hey, you had a nice conversation. Fucky got some work writing done. Excellent. Diane says, ooh, pretty. Yeah, I'm trying my best not to like hold to perfection because it's not going to be perfect. It's just not going to be, especially since I am going to be hand drawing the arches. This just is not going to be possible. So I'm still going to have to figure out sort of like, do I want to use stamps for the days or do I want to write them in? That kind of thing. Because I'm going to have to bring in the blue somehow. I chose these two to match as close as I could. And then I may also like go back in over some of the yellow stuff because it's like hecka yellow. And like put in some gold over top. So I don't know. We'll see. But hey, a decision has been made and we are in the process, which is better than it was 35 minutes ago. So that's where we are. I always feel like it just takes me so long to do these things. I enjoy the process, but it definitely is a time investment for sure. All right, y'all. Let's end the poll. We do have a pretty clear winner. 46% of our main characters are receiving an unexpected letter from an unknown uncle or aunt. 27% are receiving a letter from someone the main character thought was dead. 18% are receiving letters from either the religious cult or about their vehicle's extended warranty. And 9% are getting a letter from a dean or professor of a magical academy. So there you go. All right, don't forget to save and make sure that you stretch, make sure you enjoy the middle of the week as much as possible, and, Diane is sniffing the air to make sure that it's funky, um, smelling the coffee. Yeah. So don't forget to save, don't forget to sip and stretch and have fun. And I will see y'all on Friday. All right. Bye.